Hello and welcome to this session in which we will discuss sustainability reporting. In today's world, investors, creditors, stakeholders want to understand not only the financial aspect of the company, but also how the company impacts environment, society, and governance. Therefore, transparency reporting builds trust and accountability between those shareholders and their interests in the company. Again, the interest here is not only financial, it's environmental, societal, and how they govern themselves. Then the question becomes is how to do it. Well, we have to do it consistently. Consistent measurement and reporting standard ensure that company report environmental, society, and governance information in a comparable way. Why this is important? As an investor, you want to be able to compare. Have a fair comparison across time and across companies. Therefore, we need to have a way. A way to do what? A way to report sustainability. Well, the question becomes, who will do that? Who will help us? We have two frameworks that we can use. We could use the Global Reporting Initiative for broad ESG reporting, and we can use the Sustainability Accounting Standard Board, SASB, for industry specific, and this one is more investor focused standard. So in this session, we will discuss those two frameworks, the GRI as well as the SASB. Let's go ahead and get started by looking at the GRI.
Before we proceed any further, I have a public announcement about my company, FarhatLectures.com.
Accounting doesn't have to feel confusing or overwhelming. Most students, CPA and CMA candidates, struggle not because accounting is too hard, but because it's taught fast, skip steps, and assume certain knowledge you should already know. Everything starts to feel disconnected. At Farhat Lectures, we break accounting down into baby steps. We explain the why, the logic behind each concept, and how everything's connected so it finally makes sense. When the fundamentals click, accounting becomes clear and manageable. You stop memorizing rules and start truly understanding accounting. Ready for accounting to make sense? Start your free trial at farhatlectures.com.
So what is the GRI, or the Global Reporting Initiative? Well, it's an international organization that developed standardized framework for sustainability reporting. It was established in 1997 after major environmental concern, highlighting the need for corporate accountability. So this is how it came about, 1997. And this is basically the first one, the first major one. Its goal was to help organizations measure and communicate their environmental, social, and economic impact. Think of the GRE as the common reporting language. Think of the GRE as the GAP, the generally accepted principle for accounting. It allows companies around the world to report sustainability performance in a consistent and comparable way. And when it started, it changed over time. So it started in 1997, then in 2000 we have the first sustainability reporting guidelines, then in 2002 they improved the structure and the disclosure. In 2026 it expanded reporting scope. In 2013 the focus on materiality and relevance. And now the GRI standard, it's a formal global standard replacing all these guidelines. So now we have a specific standard. So the transition to the GRI standard marked a shift from general guidelines to formal structural reporting. So rather than just giving general guidelines, now we are more specific. So the purpose of the GRI specifically is to allow organization of any size or type. So that's the point. You're not, whether you are small, big, or in various industries, to report their impact on the economy, environment, and society, provide transparent and reliable information, and enhance accountability to stakeholders. And who are the stakeholders? Investors, regulators, policymakers, the public at large. Anyone is a stakeholder, and you want to kind of show them the company's impact on the economy, environment, and society. Let's take a look at the structure of the GRI. It's organized into three main categories. They have a universal standards, they have sector standard, and they have topic standard. And this structure allows the company to customize reporting based on their activities. For example, universal standards apply to all organizations, include the general disclosure and principle. If we're looking at a banking institution, the bank report the general information such as governance structure, ethical policy, and overall sustainability approach under the universal standard. Under the sector standard, here you provide specific guidance to the industry. Here, you will disclose information about your loan default, data security, regulatory compliance, which are banking industry specific. Then topic standard, here the focus on specific issues. Emission, labor practices for bank. You're interested in data privacy breaches and employee diversity statistics. Now, just like with financial reporting, we have materiality. What is materiality? Materiality means is the figures large enough to influence someone's decision? We also have materiality in GRI. In other words, we don't report everything, because in financial accounting, we can't report everything. We have to report something that we considered material for investors. In sustainability reporting, we have also materiality. But materiality for GRI, it involves all stakeholders. Remember, stakeholders is everyone. Therefore, the simple definition of materiality is if a topic is material, it means it influenced someone's decision or reflect significant impact. So materiality, there is no specific number or figure. The question is, does it influence someone's decision? If the answer is yes, then the information is considered material. Now let's move from the GRI to the Sustainability Accounting Standard Board, SASB. This board is an organization that develops standards for reporting sustainability that's financially relevant. The GRI is broad, it's for everyone. Here we are focusing more specifically on the financial relevancy. How does it affect the financial relevancy? It was established in 2011 as a nonprofit. Now it's part of the IFRS Foundation, since 2022. It focuses on, again, environmental, social, and governance factor. But it's designed primarily for investors and capital providers, creditors. Think of SASB as a system that answers this question. Which sustainability issue actually affect the company financial performance? It's more like think of a dollar amount attached to the Sustainability Accounting Standard Board. And why it matters? Again, it allows investors and lenders to increasingly consider ESG risk. They help them compare data between companies, financially meaningful disclosure, decision useful information, again from a financial perspective. So it provides a common language to connect sustainability with financial outcome. Think financial. The SASB is governed by a board with representatives from different factors responsible for setting the standard, ensuring due process, and updating approval changes. Again, if this is confusing to you, think about GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. Those are frameworks that help users follow the reporting, and this is what we're doing here. Similar. It's sector-specific standard. Unlike general framework, SAS involves industry-focused. It provides 77 industry-specific standards, cover 11 major sectors like healthcare, technology, energy, and each industry has its own KPI, key performance indicators. The key idea to remember, not all ESG issues matter equally across industries. For example, oil and gas, what we care about is the carbon emission. Banking, what's important for us is data security. Manufacturing, work safety. So the SASB focuses only on issues that are likely to affect, for the third time or the fourth time, financial performance. And SASB issue 5 categories. So they look at 5 dimensions. They look at social capital, which is customer welfare, community impact. They look at human capital, employee health, diversity, training. They look at the business model, innovation, product design, efficiency. They look at leadership and governance, ethics, risk management, environmental, emission, energy, and resource use. Now, notice they separate human from the broader social issues and add a distinct business model and innovation category. Because this is how they want you to look at things. Organize sustainability into 5 different categories. Materiality, yes, we cannot report on everything. Materiality is investor focus. A sustainable issue is material if it impacts financial performance, profitability, revenue, or cost, and influence risk and return. Why? Because that's what we care about. We're looking at what matters to the investors. So examples of financial impact will be environmental fines, it's increasing cost. Poor labor practices, reducing productivity. This is how we look at it, at these factors from a financial perspective. Data breach, damage, revenue, and reputation. So SASB provides a materiality map to help companies identify what matters the most in case you're not sure. But in a nutshell, what's the main difference between the GRI and SASB? And this is basically the big idea that you want to know. The GRI focuses on the broad stakeholder impact. SASB, financial. The audience, all stakeholders under the GRI. For the SASB, investors. Capital providers, also creditor. The scope, wide and comprehensive. SASB, narrow and industry specific. Materiality, what matters to all stakeholders. Materiality for the SASB is financial based. A simple way to remember is the GRI, because it's a global, what's the impact on the society? The SASB, what impacts financial performance? The focus is investors. Let's take a look at this multiple choice question from farhatlectures.com. Let's take a look at this multiple choice question from farhatlectures.com. What's the key difference between SASB and the GRI? Well, SASB focuses on stakeholders. GRI focuses on investors. Actually, the GRI focuses on the stakeholders, focuses on everyone. So the answer is incorrect. Because remember, when I say global reporting, global is, think of it for everyone. SASB focuses on financial impact. GRI focuses on the broader impact. This is better than A because it's the opposite of A, B. Yes, the GRI focuses on the broader impact on everyone, the broader stakeholders, investors, creditors, the public at large, government regulators. SASB is global, GRI is local. Think of G global, so it cannot be local. SASB replaces GRI. They're 2 separate frameworks. Now, what you can do is, if you're studying for the CMA exam, you want to go to Farhat Lectures, look at additional MCQs. If you're using Farhat Lectures, you could ask AI to explain the topic a little bit more in depth, explain the correct and incorrect answer, and create a similar MCQ, testing your knowledge about those frameworks. GRI versus SASB. Don't shortchange yourself, invest in yourself, and God bless.